Hey guys, kinggath here with another patch for Sim Settlements. This is patch 4.0.3, which I'm calling Ophelia's Toys. And yes, I know that sounds like a sex shop. It is not, I assure you. That is because the Conqueror team has put together some new story content, and it involves a character named Ophelia, which you will meet shortly. Now, I don't want to, well, you're going to meet it when you play. I'm not going to introduce you to her because I don't want to spoil a bunch of the story content. I think that's a lot of fun to go through the first time. But I am going to spoil a couple of those toys. So there have been two dream things I've been wanting to add to Fallout 4 forever, basically, as long as I've been playing this game. And I think I've cracked the code on both of them, and they're both in this patch. So I'm going to show you them both in a couple of demonstrations. So the first one is a solution to a problem I'm sure many of you have run into when you're running your raid attacks, is that depending on the design of the settlement, your raiders can end up funneling into weird spots and just getting murdered. Like, for example, in this Starlight City plan, they tend to all run around the big screen instead of just charging through up the center. And so we wanted a solution to that, and we've come up with the Wallbuster. And yes, this is going to do exactly what its name implies. And this is a huge breakthrough for me in coming up with a way to dynamically destroy workshop objects. So as you can see, we've made use of the actual exploding materials, and this is just the demo version. So in the demo, everything is going to shoot off the same type of wooden materials, but we've got plans on making it work with more materials, and we can expand that to other weaponry in the future. So we're looking into, over time, adding the possibility of fully destructible settlements. And I'm sure you can imagine some of the fun we can have with that outside of just making these raids easier. It's going to be a lot of cool stuff we can do with this tech. So for now, you guys get to experiment it by playing with these Wallbusters, which you'll learn about as you go through the quest content. Now, the second thing I'm going to show you is going to require me to set up a little demonstration, so we're going to cut the vid and come back. All right, so it's always been a dream of mine to be able to make any NPC in the game a settler without having to kind of alter their records or anything, and I think I finally cracked the code. So now it's going to take a lot of testing to get this working perfectly, and I think Conqueror is the perfect place to test this out. So what I've done is I've adjusted the slave collars so they have a new functionality. So if we can sneak up on, no, you don't see me. You don't actually have to even stealth. You just have to be out of their field of view with a slave collar in your inventory. Let's see if I can pull it off here. And you can sneak up and enslave people and send them to your settlements. And you can even command them outside of it, so you can actually go ahead and issue them general commands out in the world. But eventually he'll make his way back to Sanctuary, and we're going to pop back over there so I can show you that even though this character does not have the settler, the workshop NPC script, which is generally required on a settler, you can still assign them. Now, there is a limitation there. You cannot assign them to plots, and that's one of the things where I have to work my way through the code. It's going to take a while before I've got Sim Settlements. Hey, buddy, there he is. Getting Sim Settlements to work correctly. But in the meantime, you can let them use vanilla items, and it does work quite nicely. Now, the plot support will come in time, but we need to figure out, well, before I adjust all of the Sim Settlements code to support something so dramatically different, we need to make sure that any of the bugs with these enslaved NPCs are worked out. So for now, when you try and assign them to a plot, it will just tell you that that's not enabled. But as you can see, they correctly assigned to the bed. And then I can give them some generic work. So let's see here. If we give them a guard post, we'll bring Diamond City Security home to Sanctuary here. And then I can assign them to that. And it works just like you would expect. It gives you the defense. All of the icons work. Everything works, even though they do not have the workshop NPC script. So this is another one of those things, just like the destructible settlements. This is a huge deal. It has tons of implications for new features we can build for this. I'm very, very excited we got these two things working. So I'm hoping you guys can kick the tires, enjoy the new story content, and let us know how everything's working. Definitely keep those bug reports coming. I know I've fallen behind on them, but I will get to them, I promise you. We currently have somebody going through all sorts of bug reports and trying to compile them all for me so that I can tackle them in in a methodical way that makes sense instead of just trying to bury my head in the 500 or so forum posts that are out there, and a lot of them are duplicates. But we will get all those worked out, and in the meantime, you guys can go ahead and just pile on a bunch more with these new features. So definitely upgrade Conqueror and Sim Settlements. There is not an update to Workshop Framework because most of the code changes were all in Conqueror itself. There wasn't anything in the framework that I needed to mess with yet. There will probably be for the next patch. And I know today is the 2-year anniversary for the release of Sim Settlements, or it's close enough to it. Now, normally we would have another mega pack for you, but development cycles being what they are, sometimes things can get screwed up a little bit, and there is one coming. We will have a year 2 mega pack. I'm not sure on the date of its release yet, but it's in development, so watch out for that. And then I'm sure you guys are also wondering what the hell happened to that faction toolkit. Why don't you have any factions out there? Again, another thing I'm working on. I have so many pots on the stove right now. I'm trying to keep everything moving forward, and I'm just releasing the stuff as we finish it up. So the patch was available on time, so you're getting that, and then watch for those other 2 big things coming soon. But lots of exciting stuff. I am so pumped for Sim Settlements. We have barely scratched the surface of all the stuff we can pull off now, and I hope you guys enjoy this new content. So after all that said, take care and enjoy the mod.